Justice League, guys, that came out, I believe, was pretty forced when this movie came out. They kind of forced a lot of these characters together, and then you have the Justice League that, kind of followed up Batman versus Superman, Dawn of Justice, which I thought was a major misfire. Justice League even being a bigger misfire in my opinion. And then you got Zack Snyder's, of course, Justice League, which I thought was definitely a step in the right direction. But that being said, a lot of question marks around Justice League 2. Will we get a Justice League 2? That's what we're going to be talking about in this segment of the show. So let's get into it. In an article, guys, written by Richard Fink of Screen Rant, Justice League 2 producer thinks that the sequel will come in a number of years. So Justice League 2 might be a few years away, says producer Charles Roven. Justice League was released in 2017 to a mixed critical and audience response, and Warner Brothers opted to move away from a closely interconnected DCEU and worked on more standalone films. The Justice League was given the spotlight once more when, after years of campaigning for it, Zack Snyder's Justice League was finally released on HBO Max, which, by the way, guys, they should have been doing more standalone films in the first place before introducing Justice League. They should have done the Batman, they should have done Flash, they should have done Cyborg, Harley Quinn, all of these before Justice League even came out. So they kind of supported Justice League, so people kind of are following these narratives as you get to Justice League, similar to what Marvel did. Even though you don't want to necessarily copy Marvel completely, the fact of the matter is what Marvel did, the blueprint that they put together works, and it's worked in a major way for them. That being said, Justice League 2 was originally announced to be released on June 14th, 2019, but Warner Brothers chose to focus on Justice League being one film, and the release date abdicated. Zack Snyder's well-documented plans for a second Justice League and third film would have seen the League fighting the Legion of Doom and Darkseid, and the New Gods being a primary threat in the third film. However, those sequel plans remain unlikely because Snyder has stepped away from Warner Brothers in favor of Netflix. Zack Snyder's Justice League is considered non-canon to Warner Brothers executives. Ray Fisher stepped down from the role of Cyborg due to Walter Hamada's continued involvement with Warner Brothers, and no word remains on Henry Cavill and Ben Affleck's status as Superman and Batman, respectively. So first of all, Zack Snyder's Justice League was awesome, guys. The Snyderverse, okay? A lot of, even though I don't believe necessarily in the Snyderverse, I believed in Zack Snyder's Justice League, and I thought it was a very much so a step in the right direction. That being said, I do not like Zack Snyder being in the comic book space, okay? Even though I liked him with 300, I thought Watchmen was good. I liked some of his films. I did not think that he should be that guy for the Justice League, or even Batman versus Superman for that matter. A lot of the stuff that the different types of camera angles and the story, the narratives and things of that nature that he uses, a lot of slow-mo, I just did not like the style of which Zack Snyder creates his movies. That being said, for a superhero type of movie, I do not want to see Zack Snyder do Justice League 2. I would much rather see someone like Matt Reeves, or I would be awesome to see like a really prestigious director like Scorsese or someone, even though Scorsese is kind of against comic book films. But it would be awesome to see one of those guys take on Justice League. I do not want to see Zack Snyder make another one. I thought Zack Snyder's Justice League was great in its own way, but I'd like them, if they're going to kind of separate the Justice League now, because obviously no more Ray Fisher, and other actors are looking to step away. Henry Cavill, Ben Affleck, we don't know what the status is there. I say, just kind of start fresh here. Let's kind of build this universe once again before you ever make another Justice League 2. And hopefully we get somebody like the Russo brothers, or someone who really knows the source material, but also has a certain style that is going to make sense for DC. Not something that's going to try to copy and paste what Marvel did, something a little bit different. I just think that I don't think Zack Snyder is that guy. That being said, it appears a lot of these factors may give Warner Brothers some pause about a Justice League 2. Justice League producer Charles Rover recently told THR that he would want to return for both a follow-up to the Suicide Squad as well as a Justice League sequel. He did indicate, however, that it could be years away, though he didn't specify exactly how long, as it has already been 4 years since the theatrical release of the first film. So, number one, I want Justice League 2 to be years away, guys, and the reason being because I want them to build the cinematic universe once again in DC. I want them to really build it so that we really latch onto the characters and all of their storylines kind of merge, and then you've got Justice League 2, and it makes a lot more sense. In the next few years, the DCEU will be expanding with more heroes joining the fray. Since Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and The Flash united together in the first Justice League, characters like Shazam and the Birds of Prey have joined the DCEU with Static Shock, Blue Beetle, Supergirl, Batgirl, and Zatanna, all expected to get films within the coming years. Katana from Suicide Squad tends to have ties to the various DC heroes, and Black Adam will introduce an incarnation of the JSA that includes long-standing members of the Justice League like Dr. Fate, and Hawkman, who could easily cross over into other films. With these various heroes, a Justice League 2 could unite a new set of heroes that could generate audience excitement. So, the Suicide Squad could be a guide for what Warner Brothers eventually decides to do with the Justice League sequel. The 2016 Suicide Squad was a box office hit, but was a disappointment among critics and audiences, and Warner Brothers needed to rehabilitate the brand as there was still value in the concept. The Suicide Squad brings back 4 characters from the original film and trusts that audiences remember the basic concept, but is also allowed to be its own new take on the material that is more of a standalone and introduce a large number of new characters. Justice League 2 could also bring back fan favorites like Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman and Jason Momoa as Aquaman, and pair them with exciting new combinations like Zachary Levi's Shazam, Sasha Calle's Supergirl, and whoever else audience seemed to respond to. So, okay. The Suicide Squad, guys, okay? Suicide Squad, and this may be, an unpopular opinion, but the 2016 Suicide Squad by David Ayer, I didn't like it necessarily, but I liked it more than the Suicide Squad by James Gunn. I just don't feel like James Gunn should have done the Suicide Squad. Even though he had done Guardians of the Galaxy, sometimes I feel that directors will, if they're in one specific space for too long, they start kind of losing it almost, as far as losing their grasp on what has made their previous installments special. For example, James Gunn, I thought his best film that he's done in any cinematic universe was definitely Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1. And Volume 2, of course, was pretty good as well. Thought the first one was the best without question. But he's kind of made a number of these superhero movies, and you could really tell, I thought, kind of just a lack of a number of different things in the Suicide Squad. Even though some of the concepts I liked, I just didn't even like it as much as 2016 Suicide Squad. Now, maybe it was because I liked Jared Leto's take on the Joker in Suicide Squad. Could have been a number of reasons. I'm not sure. But that being said, I think what DC's having a real problem with is actually getting the right directors for these projects. I feel that Zack Snyder should no longer be doing any more DC movies. James Gunn, I don't think, should do any more. My thought is that Ben Affleck would be great. I would have loved to see The Batman written and directed by, of course, Ben Affleck, and even acted as the Batman as well. I think that would have been great. But Ben Affleck being a director for one of these movies, I think would be really smart. When we look at like Justice League 2, Ben Affleck might be the guy for it. Clint Eastwood and Scorsese, Nolan, a lot of these guys, even though a lot of them very well may not want to do one of, a title like this, because Christopher Nolan already did 3 Batman movies, wants to do kind of his own original films. I feel like they are having trouble finding the right directors. It's not so much that they're having trouble finding the right actors and actresses to fill the roles. I just think they're having a tough time, that being DC and Warner Brothers, finding the right directors. Matt Reeves doing the Batman, I think that's a match made in heaven. So Matt Reeves, could he do Justice League 2? I think I would love to see that. But that being said, guys, I do think we will see Justice League 2 at some point. I just want them to take their time, build the universe as much as possible before bringing them all together. What do you guys think about it? Let me know in the comment section down below. And for more Justice League 2 content and videos, stay here with Zero TV.